Doing a 1031 exchange could be a great strategy. Don't mess it up. These are the rules, timelines, and a few details that can blow up your whole exchange. In this video, we'll walk through the basics every investor needs to know before getting started. Well, it's an IRS code, and what it allows you to do is that if you have an investment property that you've sold and you have a tremendous amount of gain, this allows you to defer the taxes. We call it swap until you drop. As long as you buy and sell and buy and sell, once you pass away, whoever you're leaving your money to is going to get it tax-free. Well, it has to be real property, real estate, any kind of real estate. And I always hear everybody talking about what is like-kind real estate. And there's such a confusion about that. People think they sold a piece of land and they have to buy a piece of land, or they've sold an apartment building, they've got to buy an apartment building, and that's just not the case. So like-kind now really means real estate to real estate. Personal property doesn't qualify. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, a sale of a business, these things do not qualify for a 1031 exchange. What's not included or what's not qualified for a 1031 exchange is you can't buy a piece of real estate today, fix it up in 3 months and flip it and think that you're going to be able to do an exchange. Well, a QI is a qualified intermediary. Really acts like a middleman that actually holds the funds from the sale of a property. Why is it mandatory? Well, it's mandatory because you cannot have the proceeds from the sale of a piece of investment property that you're trying to do an exchange with go into any account that you control, or you can't even have a check cut into your name. It doesn't matter. So the qualified intermediary is the person that will hold these funds to remove that risk. If escrow cuts you a check and you go, oh my God, I want to do an exchange, I'm not going to deposit the check, that does not work. That is called constructive use of proceeds. Because the check was already cut to you and because you've already received the check, is as if you've already deposited it into a bank account. Here's how it's going to work. Your qualified intermediary, remember, the person that's holding your money, is going to give you a form. And that form is going to be tied to the strategy you're going to use. So the most common rule is the 3 property rule, and this is the rule that everyone uses. And what that means, and I'm going to define it as boxes that you have to live in. Well, the box for the 3 property rule is you only get 3 choices. 1, 2, 3 Main Street, 4, 5, 6 Main Street, 7, 8, 9 Main Street. That's all you get. You get an unlimited amount of value. It could be $1 billion worth of real estate, but you really only get 3 properties. That's the first rule. The second rule is the 200% rule. And what that means is you get to identify an unlimited amount of addresses, but the box you have to live in is 200% of the property's sale price. So example, if I sold a property for $1 million, I can only ID up to $2 million worth of value, but I can use as many addresses as I'd like. The third rule is the 95% exception. And this is how this works. You get an unlimited amount of value and you can identify an unlimited amount of addresses, but you got to close on 95% of it. And most people normally do not use that rule. Example, I sold a property for $1 million and let's say I had a loan of $500,000. Well, the rule is you got to spend all your money. In this case, it's $500,000. And here's where the equal or greater value comes in. You have to spend that $500,000 and buy something for $1 million or greater in order to satisfy the requirement. Why is the equal or greater value rule so important? The reason why it's so important is because there's a term called boot. There's mortgage boot and there's excess boot. Now I'll explain both. Excess boot means I have extra money. I didn't spend all my money. Okay, well, that money you didn't spend, you're going to be taxed accordingly. Well, mortgage boot is I didn't replace the entire value. I was supposed to buy something for $1 million, but I only bought something for $900,000. Well, that extra $100,000 in value you didn't replace is also going to be taxed accordingly. 1031 exchanges have timelines. This is where everyone gets freaked out, okay? You have 45 days to identify. That is calendar days. That's not business days. That counts Christmas, Thanksgiving, weekends, holidays, you name it. And you have to turn in this form by 11:59 p.m. day 45. Or you have a failed exchange and you pay the taxes. You also have an additional 135 days to try to close on whatever you put on that form for a total of 180 days. A 1031 exchange can save you a ton in taxes, but only if you play by the rules. So don't guess your way through it. Know the deadlines, follow the process, and get the right people on your side. It's your money. It should be working for you. If you found this video helpful, be sure to check out our other videos for more insight on real estate investing. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and click the bell so you never miss a new update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.